All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're playing Delta Green tonight. Sorry, we were a little distracted telling Steven what a real son of a bitch he is. But
in the kindest way possible.
It's true.
It's true. All of it's true, but in a good way. But he's our son of a bitch. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I have no defense.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, we're back. Busy week. I think they're all going to be busy from here on out. It's pretty crazy, but we've had a lot of fun games lately. We've got some Werewolf, got some Marvel, and now we are back to our one of our old standards, Delta Green. And then tomorrow, another one of our old standards in One Ring. So a lot of fun times ahead. We have a long way to go with Delta Green, but we are nearing the end of this scenario. So the way Delta Green... The way I'm structuring the campaign is it's a series of scenarios. Some of them linked, some of them more linked than others, and so we're nearing the end. I don't think we're done tonight, but I do think maybe next session we could be done with Brooklyn. It's possible. But then again, if things go a certain way, it could be done tonight. Who knows? I could be made a liar immediately. So, but we'll see how it goes. I already have 2, 3 and a half-ish scenarios lined up. I'm ready to go. There's a fourth I'm considering, but I'm not sure yet. So got a long way to go. I'm sure we're going to meet some new agents along the way, as Luca is in the 20s, I believe, when it comes to San. So that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I'm not even done with the second scenario. But I think, isn't Maggie pretty low? No, Lisa's low. Lisa's in her 40s, but Lisa went through some stuff. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Maggie's sitting right in the middle.
Like 60.
Lisa tried to kill a man. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. You went through some stuff. It's fair. So it's possible we might cycle an agent or two out. So, and still got my fingers crossed. We might be able to talk Derek into coming if our schedules align. Maybe when the time comes. But right now he's having way more fun doing way better things. So. I'm going to do some intros so we can get started. Long.
Yes, I am Lexi Inferno, my agent name. Also known as Luca Dante in the regular world. But I'm an American Italian coming in with a low SAN of 25. I've been seeing this bloated corpse all over the place. I think my SAN's lower than my age.
That's one way to measure it.
You said American Italian, right?
Yeah.
So you American Italian.
Born in America.
We got the Mamma Mia.
Okay. I thought that was okay. No. That's fine. Okay.
Where I grew up, there was an Italian American club that would do like a festival thing every spring. So it was the other way around. There's an Italian.
What did the festival entail? And was it insulting? Did people say "Mamma Mia" and stuff and red and white tablecloths?
Other than the fact that that's where the money came from, it was nothing in any way to distinguish it from a normal county fair type of thing, with very sketch kind of little rides and things like that.
Yeah. I remember my grandmother, my Italian grandmother. She used before she didn't like certain things when it came to the way in which certain Italian restaurants. She hated the Olive Garden, which is how she referred to it. The Olive Garden. Hated it with a passion. Hated Godfather. She found it very insulting and reductive. So there's a lot of those things. So that was fun. And that was one of the things that she and my dad used to argue about. My dad loved going with her and he used to make fun of her. Anyhow, I'm getting off topic.
She was very sweet.
She was, but you met her, in her later years when she was sweet. I knew her when she was also younger and hit you on the knuckles with spoons and stuff like that whenever you went in the kitchen try to steal a meatball or something like that. Oh, anyhow. Melissa, tell us about Maggie.
Yes, Maggie Eberly is her name in real life. She is a targeting officer with Khaki International. Her very skillfully chosen agent name is Josephine Aggie. she has been paired for quite a bit of this particular scenario with our resident author. I think we're getting a vibe going, and kind of how we do our interrogations and whatnot. So I think that's a interesting dynamic evolving in this particular round of Delta Green.
Fantastic. I still have not updated the overlay to include your agent names because I just don't want to. Like, I just don't want to put them up there. It's still like a nightmare. I'm in denial that those are the actual agent names. And maybe another set of drafts might come in at some point over time. We'll see how that goes. Freaking Inferno and Aggie. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous. All right. Next up, we get to the bottom of the road. We get to the professionals down here. We've got Declan G.W. Ellis. Steven, tell us about Declan.
Yeah, the GW stands for Gordon Wood. He is a best-selling author. Used to be nonfiction, but just wrote his first fiction book, and he's doing a press tour on it. It's selling extremely well, topping the charts. It's on the charts. And he's getting really into the investigation. It's hitting the vibe for him. He likes research, and he's always had a little bit of an interest in the supernatural. So, it's the Venn diagram is closing in.
Yeah. We've, I think people have noticed that it's interesting how Declan couldn't be bothered to do anything in the prologue and to join or help. But in this
that was
first
risking
chapter,
his life.
That's fair.
That was risking his life.
I mean, he just went back to a potentially haunted, infested something mansion Friday night after actually causing a crime scene.
I didn't actually think there was a monster in there.
No, I never said there was.
But he's dealing with the raccoon.
It's just Maggie. You guys went to the bar, so she put a couple gin and tonics back, so she's not feeling too great. All right, next we have Lisa Young. Ashley, tell us about Lisa. Oh God, wait, hang on a second. What did I do? Are we talking about Italian food or something? What is going on?
Oh, what?
Yeah, we've got a very culinary discussion going on about.
Yeah, we're all hungry now.
Yeah, Eric knows. Don't steal meatballs or you lose a knuckle. Seriously, that was very true. Go ahead, Ashley. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm playing Lisa. She otherwise known as Agent Weaver. Formerly a Publix worker, currently a FEMA program manager. And she's not getting to investigate with everyone else as much as she's like. She's kind of getting wrecked by real life right now. She's got a kid. It's the anniversary, or her mom's birthday was just passed. She died in that big event that she met Luca and Declan during. And and now her boyfriend has showed up on her girls' trip to celebrate her mom's birthday. Yikes. So
yep.
We'll see how that goes.
What a clingy jerk. The thing is like three of you decided to go back out, and then poor Ashley's like, okay, I'm gonna go do the whole real life thing that Jeff wanted everyone to do. And everyone else is just like, nah, we're just gonna go back and investigate. Like Ashley's doing the one thing.
We get so interested in solving the mystery. We're like,
my
sleep?
mission.
What is sleep?
Melissa's just ignoring her friend. She's like, fuck you, bestie.
Lisa's hardly...
You could be dead right now for all she knows.
Lisa's hardly been in the investigation. She's had to get away from the family. It's
yeah,
been so
Luca
difficult for her.
Your next character along needs to have a kid. So we're both struggle busing.
Ashley, I greatly appreciate it, because one of the things I said is that I wanted for this campaign for us, because we didn't do it with Impossible Landscapes because of the nature of the campaign. It was much harder to do so. I really wanted to get you guys wrapped up, get your bonds wrapped, actually start seeing some of that come into fruition. And Ashley's doing it. The rest of you guys suck at it. Like I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm kidding. That's totally not true. It's totally not true. That's totally not true. All right.
I give some credit for Michael King, okay?
Face of just
Agent
really?
King. God dang. Okay.
It's better than Inferno.
Yeah, poor Lisa can't catch a break. That's totally true. Agent Inferno is still like,
You can't top that.
oh my God. It's so, God damn it. It's so bad. It's good. It's like, it's one of those things. Like, this is hideous. This is like bargain bin DVD in a drugstore, like that kind of movie. Like Agent Inferno. That sounds fun. Let me get it. And like Steven Seagal's in it or something. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. So let's get started then. You all, last time around, investigation into the former Garretson Mansion continued. Garretson Mansion now renovated for what are those things called? For apartments and things like that. So it continued. It was on a Friday night, well into the evening, into the night. Lisa and Luca, we started off last session. You were already there. Lisa, you had heard something that vaguely sounded like your mom's voice calling to you. Maybe you were hearing things, maybe you weren't, but you never quite found a source of that. You did speak with a dumpster diving hippie by the name of Doobie at one point, who I imagine as
so great.
A slender John Goodman with all sorts of hippie affectations. At some point, you all apparently triggered a silent alarm or some motion sensors or something like that, because when Maggie and Declan, who had been looking at some of the sites of the missing children, they were also involved in this investigation. When they arrived, they saw Edward Bloomfeld, the head of the subcontracting company that was actually working in the renovations. You saw him arguing with police on the phone about security, about him having to drive all the way the hell back here, and why won't they come and actually check out the site and, see what's going on. So presuming that then Luca and Lisa were inside, you all decided brilliantly to try to draw Bloomfeld's attention away from them by setting off the alarm on his truck and then having Maggie race down the block and pretend to be the culprit who did this. And then while chasing her, Bloomfeld was hit by a car. Declan briefly aided him as a crowd kind of started to form a little bit. Response vehicles were eventually called. I think you even briefly spoke with his wife for like half a second on the phone.
That's right, on the phone.
Yeah.
I called her and immediately handed the phone away.
Immediately handed to another random person. It's so bad. So using this as a distraction, Maggie, Lisa, Luca, you all eventually found your way inside. Not before Maggie talked to the same Doobie guy again. Lisa, you never found the source of your mom's voice, if it was your mom's voice, but you did hear the sounds of rats and other vermin. You periodically saw in the shadows a raccoon or a rat scurrying around. You found curious marks on the wall and on the ground that didn't look consistent with the size of a raccoon. It also made it look like they were standing on their 2 feet. It was all very odd. In addition, while in Unit 35, Luca, you started to have this really terrible anxiety begin to overwhelm you, like a panic attack was forming. You managed to sort of keep it in check, but you did pace around the room a bit. And in doing so, you noticed that the measurements of the room, the size of it was every time you measured it, it was a different measurement. Like the length of the apartment was certain amount of paces one time, certain amount of paces another time, and it was very, very, very confusing. Maggie, you went looking for a breaker box at one point, but you found none, and then you just kind of blanked out for a bit as later your team found you sitting in a room, and you were just kind of sitting on top of a box, and you just kind of had apparently spaced out and had no real recollection of the previous few minutes between when you were supposed to come in here and when your fellow agents arrived. The cops eventually showed up, started to do a walkthrough, and you all left. You went to a nearby bar, knocked a few back. Luca, you once again, as you mentioned already, saw the vision of this bloated woman in the crowd. Lisa, you, as you said, got the surprise phone call that your boyfriend Cody had secretly arrived at your Aunt Vivian's home, and so you headed back to Long Island to meet him. The rest of the group, you decided, because there's only one day of the week, there's no such thing as Saturday in Delta Green Universe. You all decided to head immediately back to the Garretson Mansion, having downed a few beverages. And that's when you met Gene Philo, the one of Bloomfeld's associates who had arrived, kind of locking up and stuff after doing the walkthrough with the cops. He recognized Declan as he was a book lover, as a quote-unquote acclaimed author. And Declan, you managed to use his fame You managed to use his fame to convince him that Luca's, Luca, I think Luca, you're acting drunk or something like that. And then you kind of convinced him to give you a tour of the building. Maggie, you had gone off on your own. You found a different route inside. You heard animals scurrying about. And when you opened the door to the main hall of one of the floors, you saw a large rodent standing on 2 feet, about 3 to 4 feet height, maybe 25 pounds or so. It turned its head towards you, which is far more human looking than it should have been, and it hissed at you. So we're going to pick up with Cody. No, just kidding. We're going to pick up right there.
I was
with
going to say,
Maggie.
that's really what I'm here for, is the scene of Lisa
That'd be
and
hilarious if I
Cody.
did that.
God, I
It's
had a
take her a
nightmare
while to
about
do
it
that.
last night too.
Okay.
That's concerning.
So currently, Luca, Declan, you're like kind of in the process of being led up the steps and into the apartments. Maggie, you're by yourself, and there is a 3 to 4 foot tall rodent, raccoon that just looked at you with a very kind of dirty humanoid looking face, just hissed at you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do something here. What would you like to do before I murder you and you have to make another character?
Okay, so 3 to 4 feet tall. So I am taller than this thing is, and I am larger than this thing is. So, and I also know, I hear that there's other voices around. So what Maggie is going to do, it's probably really dumb. So Maggie is going to take off one of her shoes that she's got, and
Just like Sonny from The Godfather.
I
Sorry.
don't know that scene, but
Come on, are you kidding me? It's gonna make nothing but Godfather references today. Okay, so you take off a shoe.
So basically,
Okay.
because I was looking, I don't have a weapon of any particular kind on me. So that's what kind of she's gonna try to see if she can kind of put some distance between her and this thing. And she's like, "What the hell are you?" And she's kind of got this
You get your
heeled
shoe. So you reach down, you grab your shoe. Are we talking like a heel type of shoe? Like
Of
something that
course,
okay.
of course. This is Maggie Everly. She is always chronically overdressed.
Okay. You do that, and the minute you like brandish it, it bolts. Kind of starts running off into the darkness of the building. What do you do, Maggie?
I'm gonna follow. Shoe
Okay.
back on.
Absolutely. Maggie, I need you to make a test for me. I need you to make we'll call it, it can be athletics. Yeah. Or it could just be a straight up dex times 5. I'll let you make the choice if one is demonstrably better than another. Yeah.
I mean,
roll
dex
your
times
dex. You
5
have
is way
17
better.
dex. So yes, roll dex. This is more just
Yeah.
to see if you can keep up with this thing.
That is a 40 under 80.
Okay. So you begin chasing after it. It is extremely fast. Very dark in here as well. You can hear it skittering across the ground, and you can see it moving here and there. It gets to this intersection. You know that one way kind of goes like one wing of the building, another way kind of goes towards the stairs. You see it cut down one, and you turn down this intersection, and you are right on its tail. And you can see that it's suddenly at the far end of the intersection, like at the far side of it, and you can see it as somehow just in the span of turning around the corner has gained like 15 or 20 feet on you. Go ahead and roll another dexterity test.
Question from chat, Jeff. Is
Yeah.
this little animal deceptively jacked?
Was he deceptively ripped, I believe, but yes, I appreciate that. Probably the bad guy. If he was, she would have encountered a god. Isn't that right, Steven?
There would be a dead hand flying towards her right now.
There would, yeah. She would be totally screwed, man. You would just
That is a
with a thought.
78 under 85, so still
Okay.
a success.
You burst of speed down the hall. You get to to the like he was right at the top, right at the base of these stairs, and you can see it just start bolting up into the shadows of the stairs. You hear it kind of going up the stairs. You get to the base, you look up, you see it at the very top. It bolts into like through the we'll say the I can't remember what floor we're on, but it bolts across and out of your line of sight. You race up the stairs. The same thing happens. You get up to the top of the stairs, like it should be like 10 feet in front of you, but you see it on the far side of the hall, like it's right near this window where a little bit of a street lamp is coming in. You can just kind of see it there. It kind of almost looks like it's turning its face back towards you, and you can see that humanoid face, a little bit of this sort of orange yellow street lamp again, and you can see it just turn into what you think is one of these apartments, one of these apartments that are under construction. What do you want to do?
Continue.
You race down. You get to the exact same spot underneath that window. The light's coming down at you. You look out. You can see kind of around the corner, like the dumpsters and such, where some of the the homeless folk are diving here and there from time to time. And you can see that there is an open apartment. They haven't put the doors in. You look into it. There's nothing in there. Completely empty. Roll an alertness test.
All right. This is much worse. This is a 40. I'm going to take an audience support because we've got that. And I'd like to figure out what the hell this thing is. Oh, still not enough. 59 over 50.
You're looking, and then you hear the sounds of skittering behind you. You turn around and you can see back by the stairs. There it is again. Looks up at you and darts down the stairs.
I keep running.
Dex test. At this point, Declan, Luca, if you have anywhere above a 20% alertness, you hear the sounds of movement as the door opens, as Jean unlocks the door. You can hear the sounds of movements above. It's quiet inside, but you can hear footsteps. That's probably what's overpowering any of the other sounds. And you just hear footsteps thump, 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 as Maggie is kind of running. We'll say, Maggie, you're on the second floor. You guys just got in the first floor. How'd you do on that test, Maggie?
95 over 85.
You skid over towards the stairs. Your kind of breath kind of getting a little bit more labored at this point as you've been running around in this wild goose chase. You look down. You don't see it, but you do hear what sounds like shuffling of some kind of animal out of sight down the stairs back on the first floor.
Keeping at it.
You go running and you're chasing after that. Luca, Declan, the door opens up. Gene's kind of talking to you, and he's just saying any you got any ideas for like your next book? With the
you hear that? I think that's my cat.
What? And just
I'll be right back. And I just start running.
Right as that door opens, you say, "Oh, I think that's my cat," and literally a black and white, very large black and white cat comes bursting out of the shadows, pushing past the three of you, kind of bumping into you here and there, as a cat just doesn't care at all about you all, and goes bounding around the side of the building. Luca or Declan, when you look inside the building, you see rounding the corner of the hallway, there is an out of breath, sweaty Maggie Eberly holding in her hand at least one of her shoes, if not both, to help you run.
I want to go for the cat. As soon as I see it, I try to go for it.
All right, Declan, roll a dex times 5. Meanwhile, Jean is like, "Who the fuck are you? Get the hell out of here, you crazy lady!" And he's like looking around. It's like, "Those cops still here? Hey!"
No,
and then
his cat. For his cat. His cat.
Do I know
What?
you, lady?
You say as you start running away. Do you actually say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have wanted to blow my cover with Gene.
Okay. It's like, no. I think you might want to stay right there. And he starts to reach, and he pulls out his cell phone, and you see that you're gonna stay right there. We got some questions. There's gonna be some people who want to ask you questions, ma'am. You stay right there. And you see him pull out the gun, and he starts calling 911. What are you guys doing?
For my deck
Maggie
save,
just
I
looks at
needed a
Declan
70
because she's like, "Well, I had a story and you screwed it over." So she's going to give a very pissy look to Declan, like, "This is your mess to fix now."
As I'm running away. For the deck save, I needed a 75 and I got a 47.
Okay, you bound around the alleyway, and this is back towards where you had initially met Jean, where Luca was trying to sneak away, and you kind of got noticed. It's a very dark alleyway. You can see some of the puddles and such here and there. You look around and you move quickly. You paused for a second because you had to say something to Maggie or whatever, but then you bounded around and you moved with great speed. And you look down the alleyway and you don't see it, but then you hear the sounds of like something scratching, and you look up and you see probably on the second or third floor that black and white cat is just like hopped up, and it's just sort of like doing what cats do, just sort of like going higher and elevating itself up the side of the building from what looks like one windowsill to one drain gutter, and off it goes upwards. That is not a cat, Stephen. That is not
If I can't catch it up the drain, I would be looking for like fire escapes or something like that to follow.
You don't. There aren't any fire escapes. That's there aren't any fire escapes for this building yet.
Okay.
You can certainly try to climb if you like.
I think I'd try to go back in the building to go up.
Okay. So you're going to start running back to the front to the. Okay. So let's go back there before you get back, and we've got Jean. This is around the same time Declan bolted away. He's pulling out his phone. He's dialing 911. Are you two doing anything, Maggie or Luca?
Jean, no, let's put that away now. She's harmless. I don't think you need to call the cops.
No, I don't think so. We've had a lot of weird shit going on around this place. A lot of broken equipment. No. You one of Lottie's friends? You frickin' tweaker.
Maggie's gonna snatch the phone out of his hand.
Okay, so you're gonna race towards him, and you're gonna snatch it out of his hand. All right, let's do an unarmed combat roll as you try to snatch this out. I'm going to roll for him. You roll for yourself. I'm just gonna make it a contest because you both are fighting for the phone.
What am I rolling?
We'll call it unarmed combat.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna grab one from the audience here to make it a straight 50-50. And let's see. 62 over 50. Over 50, okay. Yeah.
Okay. You said 62 over 50, so you failed? Okay.
Yeah.
He failed as well, but since you both failed, this is just going to be a situation where you run up, you bump into him. He goes stumbling back, but he holds onto the phone. I'm going to say he flops back onto his ass right on the stoop, but he doesn't let go of the phone. He's like, "Oh, you fucking assaulted me. Hey, hold, don't let it go. Don't let it go." And he's kind of pointing to you, Luca. Luca, what are you doing in this, in all this?
I'm going to sort of guilt trip this guy to trying to stop the call. Like, okay. You let two unauthorized folk enter this past hours. I don't think your boss is going to like to hear that.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay.
Persuasion action?
I'll give
you
persuasion.
Persuasion?
Have very different plans right
now. What is your persuasion at there, Mr. Luca?
Is that a skill? Dante? It's a 50.
I'm going to say you're going to roll this with a minus 20 because she just knocked him down. So had this happened before, I might have just said roll it normal. But since she literally just physically bumped into him, yeah.
Crit success, 11.
Wow. 30. It's a good thing this isn't Haunted West. That would have been really bad.
Clutch roll.
It'd be a joker.
He looks up at you and he's like, and you hear the sounds of 911. Please state the nature of emergency. And he looks up at you. He's got this strange look on his face. He looks at the phone. He looks at you. He looks at Maggie. And then he just closes the phone. And then he says, You two are together, aren't you? That's what this is. You're together. Okay. And at this point, Declan, you come back. You see Gene's on the ground. He's closed his phone up. Maggie is now on the stoop, kind of towering over top of him a little bit because she just accidentally knocked him down. And Luca is there being peacemaker as Declan, you come running back around. He's like,
I want to run right past them without even stopping, yelling, "My cat went up top."
you you burst past them just in time to hear him be like, "Yo, you together, aren't you? You guys are fucking." And then Declan runs past. Declan, you run inside. You just gonna run up the stairs?
Yeah, whatever I think would be the quickest route. I don't know the inside of the building, so I'd just be guessing, trying to find the quickest route to where I think I could cut off the cat.
He stands up at this point as you start running up the stairs. He stands up at the stoop. Gene does. He looks at Maggie. He looks at Luca. He puts his hands up. One of them's got the phone. All right, listen. Because he's starting to look a little bit nervous. If you want to take some shit, take some shit. I don't care. It ain't the first time. Eddie'll just blame it on the kids again. No, I got nothing to do with it. I wasn't here. I don't want any fucking trouble. This is enough of this shit.
Exactly. We were never here tonight. And I'll follow Declan up.
Okay. So he starts backing away as he has perceived you two as a threat at this point. And so not only is he like, he's leaving at this point. You see him kind of start to scramble up and move backwards a bit. Maggie, what are you doing?
Maggie's gonna kind of piggyback off of, kind of what Luca said. Like, we're not here to take shit either, but we weren't here.
His hands are up. He's like backing away. You say that, and he's just like, I don't care. It's Friday night. I don't need this. I don't need this. I'm going home. And he starts going away, but he lingers, and he sees you guys, and he's been talking with you, Luca, long enough to probably be able to recognize you, and obviously Declan, Maggie, who knows, but he starts to now quickly walk away. Luca, you run back inside. Declan, you're inside. Maggie, you're standing on the stoop. What are you doing?
I'm just sort of watching to make sure he doesn't like step 5 steps away and like take his phone back out. So
if you watch him,
I'm
he
just
gets
watching
into a
his
car.
retreat.
If you watch him, he gets into a car and he starts, you hear it start up. You see the lights go on. You see him start driving away. Okay. Declan, we're going to cut back to you then. You were looking for your cat. Give me a search roll or an alertness. Either one of those is fine. And you're gonna. I'm
alertness because it's slightly better with a 26.
Okay, I'm assuming it's your search. I thought your search was good.
My search. Oh, that's stealth. Okay.
Yeah, I could have sworn
search
your
is
search was
41.
good. Yeah.
Either way, I rolled a 53, so it's a failure.
You head up towards the third floor where you think you saw the cat probably hop back in. And here you are up on the third floor. You're looking around. You hear like the vague sounds of skittering and such, probably in the wall. It's all very quiet. The distant sounds of like car horns and such of the city kind of wafting in through a couple windows that have been left open. I think this is your first time inside.
It is.
So it is very much a construction site. It is renovation. So you can see that there's a lot of old style like molding and wainscoting and stuff like that. But it's not like new construction. So we're not dealing with like bare concrete floors or anything like that. But you can see that there's also a lot of tools and things that have been stacked up neatly in corners. There's also different apartments have doors. Some don't. So it's kind of a mix of the two, but you don't see anything up here. Luca, you go running back in shortly after. I'll say that you eventually rush up the stairs you go bump and you kind of bump into Declan, who's just kind of looking around in the middle of the third floor. Maggie, you're still outside, so we'll say you're staying outside for a couple more beats. What do you guys want to do on that third floor?
Just calling for the cat.
Okay.
Declan, that beast. You saw it running there.
It went up the drain. I think it tried to loop back around. Is there a way to the roof?
Never went that high, but we can check.
Okay. So you're going to look around for roof access. Okay, no problem. We'll say I don't think that's going to require a search. You'll eventually find it. It's just so we'll say that's going to take a little bit of time for you to find direct access to the roof. Maggie, what do you do in the meantime? You just watched Jean drive away. You know Luca and Declan are back inside. What are you doing?
Maggie's trying to think through sort of her observations of what she just saw.
I'm sorry, that's not thinking through stuff is not allowed at this party, and it's just not something that we do.
So I just want to make sure that I kind of followed the thing that Declan saw as a cat was the same thing that I was chasing after.
You didn't see what Declan saw, so you know.
Okay.
Declan didn't see what you saw, so you don't know.
Okay, so I didn't see a cat.
Declan saw a big black and white cat. You saw like a 3-foot tall rodent with a human-like face.
Okay, I just was trying to track the movement of things with 4 legs. Maggie will try to backtrack if she can remember the path that she took and kind of look for like the prints of this thing as it was running and see if that compares to other prints we've seen.
Okay. Do you have a search? What's your search at?
Also 41.
Okay. I'll say as you backtrack, remembering where you were with a decently high search, you do in fact find in some of the construction dust and such here and there on the ground, you do find what looks like tracks. I think you have talked. I'm pretty sure Lisa did debrief you on what she found. So she found I think it was claw marks actually, as opposed to tracks
on the walls.
She found claw marks and she found actual like paw prints, and she showed everybody pictures.
Right, exactly. So I would say, Maggie, with that in mind, these do match up what Lisa had on like the grainy photos that she probably took on her phone. Because
wasn't it that like it was sort of like scratches, but then it was also look sort of like small child prints, kind of.
Yeah. I'll get the actual details up for you and reread them to you so that you get them accurately. Okay, so it definitely like so first of all, the scratch marks on the drywall, it definitely, there's a few things about them that were kind of strange. They're a little bit heavy, so it seems like it was probably made by something that was a little bit bigger than what's been described as raccoons and cats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They were kind of long, which suggested that they were like the animal was like standing up off the ground, like 2.5, 3, 4 feet, something like that, which was a fairly long as well. So again, the size was a little bit different. And then they were also very strange in that they, the paw had 5 fingers and a thumb, and at least, and it did look like there might have been a somewhat recognizable, like almost like a fingerprint as part of it.
Okay.
I would say some of that you see, like I'm not sure if it's as pristine as the one that
level
Lisa
of detail.
found,
Sure.
Yeah, it definitely matches.
Okay. Then having that confirmed, Maggie will see if she can meet up then with where Declan and Luca got to.
Okay. Well, Luca and Declan, you guys are up on the roof. You found a pull down. Kind of a pull down opening, kind of climb up this ladder, open up onto the roof, and you are on top of basically a 4-story high building. It is There's nothing up here. It doesn't look like they're storing anything here. It doesn't look like any kind of renovation has happened up here at all. But you just see various exhausts, various like little pipes and things like that sticking out. You could have a decent view of the street and a decent view of the lot behind the Garrettson building turn condominiums, where the sort of that double dumpster lot is. And so you kind of see a little bit of that. That's what's up here. What are you two doing up here?
Are there buildings close enough that like a cat could jump from roof to roof?
Cat, possibly. You know.
Damn.
I mean, you could try.
Oh, I'm not going to try.
Damn. Declan the Brave.
I'll look along the wall that Declan last saw the cat.
Okay. You look down. You don't see anything. You periodically hear a distant bark of a dog, like an alleyway over, but you don't see any creatures moving about. Someone's got a message.
It's my partner. Don't worry about it.
It's your supervisor calling you at almost midnight on a Friday night. I guess it's possible. It's DEA. Active agent. Like, you're supposed to be at the crime scene right now. We had an arrest going on. What the hell, man? What are you doing? Actually, let's say that's exactly what's happening, Luca, is you're getting a call. You're getting a call from your supervisor. I'm actually going to run with this. You're getting a call. It's your supervisor was saying, and then they say specifically to you, Dante, where the fuck are you?
In New York.
What the fuck are you doing? It's your shift on the frickin' stakeout, man.
That was today?
Yes, that was today. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Get your head out of your ass, get out of the fucking bar, and get over here. I'm trying to remember
Toby? Can he cover?
Toby, who do you think you need to relieve?
Shit. All right, I'll make it over as soon as possible.
You haven't been drinking, have you? God damn it, Dante. Jesus Christ, man.
I'll wrap it up. I'll make it over.
We're going to have a long conversation soon. Long conversation. Okay, so you hang up the call with your supervisor.
It's one of those stereotypical like cell phone conversations in movies where nobody says goodbye. Just like,
hell no.
hang up.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
Declan is standing there trying not to make eye contact because awkward.
And you probably heard the other end of the call too. That's the thing.
All right, you probably heard this, but we got to wrap this up. I got somewhere to be.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Take off. Show me that room that you saw before.
Yeah,
the one that
it's on
kind of
floor
freaked
3.
you out. Yeah. Just point me to the door.
I'll lead you down, and I'll show him room 35.
Okay.
And this is a construction site, so would it be safe to assume there's like a 2x4 or a hammer or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's tools around. There's stuff like that. Sure.
I want to grab something I can bash with.
Okay, so you grab a hammer. So you bump into Maggie, who has rejoined you all at this point. And Luca, you're taking them to Unit 35. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you go inside with them, or do you just show them and then leave?
I'll show them.
Okay. Wait.
And
The
then
way you said that, I wasn't actually sure what you meant. Do you go inside with them, or do you just show them and leave?
I'll look at them. I don't want to feel.
Right? Like, I didn't feel like it was a clear answer.
I don't want to feel uneasy from before, so I'm just gonna stay out.
Okay, so are you leaving the mansion at that point?
Yeah, I'll let them be handled from here.
Okay, so if that's the case.
So while
leaving,
that
that's
happens,
interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Maggie is going to turn to Declan. We need to work on this. It's like improv. If I say something, you gotta say, you don't say no. You don't say, I've never seen this woman before.
I had a thing going with him. He knows who I am. He recognized me from the book. I didn't want to associate with someone who already broke into the building.
You just expand the story. You
He
just
wasn't
say,
like Franco.
oh, yeah,
He's not cool.
you're gonna get me arrested.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
twice in one
And I
day, you
grab the
sent,
hammer and I
you
start
almost
walking.
sent the cops
hit her
after
with
me.
Can't get arrested if you did. Ah.
You got to work on your cardio, Maggie. You're going to need it with me.
As she's holding her heels in her hands.
Okay.
Where's he going? What?
He got in trouble for drinking on the job.
Okay.
Mm.
Luca, on your way out, first floor, you're about to go out the front door, which is open. You hear a voice. What master do you serve?
Master. I'm not a maid.
God damn it.
The slow break on Jeff, too. Like, he held it together for a second, and then it sunk in. He struggled so hard.
I don't even understand it. I'm not a maid. What does that even mean? The voice says, oh, never mind. You can go.
Thought you were housekeeping.
You hear the voice comes back. Do you seek answers?
Yeah, I do.
To what question?
Who am I speaking to?
No answer to that.
Hello? Did you leave?
What are you looking for, Agent Dante? Agent Inferno. You are lost. You are confused.
It's been a confusing night. Something here, but it seems to be missing.
Something haunts you.
I haven't noticed.
Lie.
And I'm to trust this ghastly voice in my head.
No response, actually.
I must have drunk too much.
Return when you are ready for answers and enlightenment. She will give them to you if you are willing.
I'll shine my flashlight around in the dark, see if I find anything.
You do not.
Yeah, I think that's enough of this place. And I'll head out.
Okay. And you do. No problem. Back up in Unit 35. The two of you in there bickering, as always.
It's Friday night.
Declan, you're halfway through your bickering, kind of lecturing of Maggie, mansplaining, etc. When you feel a immense sense of unease. It's just this pressure on your chest, this urge of panic, maybe something very wrong. Roll a con times 5.
I needed a 60 and I got a 54.
Okay. You could kind of similar to Luca from last time. You kind of squash it a bit. It's there though. You can feel it. You can feel that like you're just kind of holding back this sudden sense of anxiety. Maggie, you're looking in the room. It's dark. It's kind of peculiar looking. There's, when you look at the corners here and there, it kind of, but you're not feeling the same thing that Declan is, and whether or not Declan's voicing that is a different story. But just to give you all, just to refresh your memory, it's a 600 square foot studio apartment. You got there's these new double pane energy efficient windows that are installed. There's space for a stove, a bathroom ready for a sink, shower, and toilet, but none of that's been installed yet. From what you learned, Luca, most of it, and I'm sure he's conveyed this during your bar trip, most of it was torn down to like studs and then rebuilt, rewired, piped, reframed, drywalled, taped, all that kind of stuff, and plastered. The only thing that was left intact was this sort of antique wainscoting that's just sort of wraps around, and that's what's in here. It's not furnished or anything like that. It's a big empty studio. That's what the two of you see. Would you like?
I wouldn't voice the anxiety, but you might see like the change in personality as like before I had the adrenaline up and I had a plan, and then I walk in here and it just like the wind is immediately taken out of my sails, and it would take me a minute, I think, to gather myself. And then I want to start tearing the drywall off the walls. I want to just bash big holes in the walls and start looking for anything.
You start bashing the walls. You start smashing the hammer into the wall. You get a couple, we'll say you definitely get 1 or 2 in before Maggie, you clearly notice this is happening. So Maggie, after he's now smashed 2 holes in the drywall and the plaster, what are you doing?
The hell are you doing? What? Why?
Luca Inferno said there was something weird about this room. I'm feeling it now too. This has to be the point. There's like a nest or something, or like I don't know. I'm looking.
I saw the creature thing. You were going on and on about your cat. I saw exactly what Lisa said in the pictures with the scratches on the walls and the prints and all of that. I saw it. It's like, and she'll go into a description, 3 to 4 feet tall, face like a human. It was here and it ran. You think it's in the walls?
I didn't see that. I saw a cat. Cats squeeze into tight places.
Okay. Whatever.
Grab a hammer. Help.
Fine. We're not getting back in here.
What are your guys' searches again? What's your searches again?
41. I think we're both 41.
Okay.
I am 41, yeah.
Okay.
You know my character better than me.
You just said it and I looked down. I'm like, oh, it's the same as mine. So now it's in my head.
Okay. I would say as you two are hammering, or as Declan's hammering, as Maggie, you get ready to go, you guys notice that there's something odd about the wainscoting, actually. You see that there is almost like there's a panel that like it's all kind of this, and you know what wainscoting is, right? Like this sort of waist high molding that goes around. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's like a panel that almost seems like it's on a hinge. You can actually see this little hinge, like it could be flipped down, kind of opened up, closed, etc. That you can notice that when you're looking around the room, you don't see it anywhere else, but it looks very much like a door or a hinge.
And which one of us notices this?
You both do. You both have the same search.
Okay.
Pop it open.
Okay, so when you do, you notice that it is basically painted this deep black on the inside. The outside, like the wainscoting, kind of matches the rest of it, but the inside of it, there's carvings in it, and you can see that the carvings themselves are these relatively baffling. And maybe it's just you're tired. It's fairly late. It's probably past midnight at this point for the two of you. All these geometric shapes, and not only are they carved around, but the depth of them varies. Some are carved very thinly, some are carved very deeply, etc. And so they're just kind of all swirling around here and there.
I grab my BlackBerry, I turn on the flashlight, and I just try to study them as best I can.
Okay. I would say that there's probably nothing you could just get right off the bat. Yeah. Other than what you observed.
And so, given that Declan lit it with his BlackBerry, Maggie's going to pull out her phone and take the picture.
Okay, sure.
And then Maggie wants to poke her head because this opened, right?
Yeah, and like you can easily pull it off the hinges too.
So I want to look in the hole.
There's actually not a hole. You can see it's just the wall underneath.
Oh.
Start bashing the wall.
Basically, the wainscoting was kind of sort of semi-concealing it or camouflaging this in some way. But like as you kind of pull it away, you can kind of see that there was it was just sort of, it almost kind of matched the kind of the outer painting. You would guess, I would say that whoever was kind of doing the construction maybe just like accidentally painted over it before they realized it wasn't actually part of the wainscoting. Is probably what happened. But the inside of it, on the one that Declan's looking at, like you could very easily like just pop it out and kind of covering it. So
yeah, we'll take that with us if we can.
If you'd like, yeah, you can pop it off and bring it with you if you like. It is also, I should say, it's also wood. It's not light. It's maybe 20 or 30 pounds, but you can but you guys easily can bring that with you.
Tempted to ask Maggie to hold it, but I won't.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys are doing? I would like to involve Ashley.
I'd like to bash the wall behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, like is it drywall behind it?
Yeah. Yeah, you bash and you can see new studs. You can see new piping, new wiring, all that kind of stuff. None of it looks aged, looks relatively new, and you have pretty much destroyed this side of the room.
Shit, I think it got away. Well, we should get out of here before that guy decides to call cops on us. You have anything else you want to do?
No, I mean that we definitely want to look at a bit further. And she'll look around to see if there were any other of is the scratches or prints or any of that kind of stuff.
I think you've seen it a couple of times at this point. You could recognize they're here and there. There's no new information on that front.
Okay. Good if you're good.
All right. Before we switch, Declan Ellis would like to try and cover his tracks as poorly as possible. So like, when we leave,
what tracks are you trying to cover? The fact that the guy that you ran into knew exactly who you were, you gave him his name, and then you ran all over the place, or the fact that you ran inside and bashed the walls in completely. Are you going to start hanging drywall now?
I'm going to try and gaslight people is what's happening. So
you're like, never mind the fact that I banged holes in the walls, but I'm going to scuff my shoe prints in the drywall dust so they can't possibly track my shoes.
All right.
So I want to lock the door behind us as we leave and then break the door open so that it looks like it was locked. We left it locked and someone else broke in after us.
Okay. All right. You can absolutely do that.
Do more damage, more
Okay.
destruction.
Yeah.
You close the door to the apartment building. You bash it open. And then the two of you leave. Done.
With our piece of wood.
Absolutely.
I'll take the hammer too.
Fairly heavy piece of wood. We're going to cut over to Ronkonkoma, where it's probably taken this long for Lisa to get back, to be fair.
Right.
As we'll say, it's
Train
like...
ride.
I don't know if the LIR goes that late or not. I'm not sure. I don't know, actually. I don't know off the top of my head. Whatever. You get there, one way or the other. You get out. You get back to your Aunt Viv's home. You go inside. It is dark. It's like 2:00 in the morning, we'll say, by the time you get there. And when you walk in, you see a light on in the kitchen. You can see that there is your Aunt Vivian. There is Cody. There's an open bottle of wine. And there's some various bits of leftovers from your restaurant that they seem to be kind of picking at or eating, and a couple of the random stuff that she took out here and there. And you go in and you hear she's just kind of laughing and such. And when you walk in, you can tell that she's probably drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, you can see, like, when you walk in, he looks over at you and he's got this very sheepish smile on. And he kind of moves over towards you in this sort of timid manner to, like, kind of give you a hug. And he's just like, surprise. And Vivian, in a very drunk way, she's like, oh, look who's here. Look who comes in. There's my girl. And she turns around and she kind of plants this big kind of wet, warm, wine-infused kiss on your cheek. And as she like cuts in line to get to you.
And Lisa's just like, oh, hi, Aunt Viv. Thank you.
How'd the meeting go, sweetheart?
It went well, I think.
I was telling Cody all about it, how you and Jamie are going to move here, and he is excited as well. And like Cody's like, yeah, real excited that you're moving to Long Island.
Yeah, nothing official yet, but potential promotion came up.
Oh, you're gonna get it. You're brilliant and you're smart. You know who you remind me of, Lisa? Your mother. You remind me, she was brilliant and smart, and then she had you, and all of her life plans and goals were put on hold. But that's all right, because she loved you so much.
And Lisa at first was really surprised, like thinking this might be like a first like real compliment. And then it was just the same thing she's constantly heard before of like, I put my life on hold for you, Lisa.
And now
this is how you repay me.
And now you're doing it again. It's life is the tricky circle. You're just like your mother, but you're so good with Jamie. So good.
Thanks.
Isn't she good with Jamie, Cody? Oh, you're so cute. And you got a man in your life now. And she turns around and she like kind of pats Cody on the cheek.
Okay. Well, thank you for staying up with him, Aunt Viv.
Oh, she leans in, breath heavy with wine, and she's just like, he's a keeper. You two kids have fun. Don't stay up too late. And she starts to go, and then she turns around and she shuffles back over, grabs the wine bottle, and then starts going back to her bedroom. Leaving you and Cody.
Yeah, and Lisa just kind of looks at him and surprise.
Yeah, not how I thought this was gonna go. You were at a
Yeah.
business meeting with FEMA until 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday.
Well, no, we had the business meeting and then everyone went out for drinks.
Okay, that makes more sense because
Yeah.
was under the impression that you were having some kind of conference or something somewhere, and yeah.
No, I
Okay.
ran into some people with FEMA and
Okay.
talking about the work that I've been doing and the opportunities that they have here. And I've been feeling guilty considering everything with my mom.
Of course.
And yeah.
Listen, you don't have to explain yourself to me. Like that's not you don't have to. I trust you with whatever this is.
I'm just trying to do what's best for Jamie, get a better job.
Yeah. And it's in New York.
Brooklyn, yeah, maybe.
Okay. How long have you known about the job?
I ran into them once I got here.
Oh, so and you see like he kind of visibly kind of seems to let a little bit of stress. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
New
this
opportunity.
wasn't like I planned this and then I just was gonna leave you at home and then just leave you.
Oh, it's good to know you weren't going to leave me. Got it. Yes.
That came
That's
out
good.
wrong.
No. It's fine. So awkward. He's like
Yeah.
shifting here and there. Like
And
he grabs like an empty wine glass. It's empty, but he takes a drink out of it anyway.
yeah, and so not. This was supposed to be the girls' weekend.
Yeah.
Like we've been crying, and
Yeah, I realize that now. It sounded like a good plan in my head, but now that I'm here, I am sure that it wasn't.
not that I don't want to see you, but this is a lot extra.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I get that. I hear you. Okay.
I know we've been talking about how I need to get better about sharing my feelings, and I have been working on that, but with Aunt Viv, and she lowers her voice.
Don't worry. You could say it to her right in her face. She probably wouldn't know you said anything. I had 2 sips. She had 1.5 bottles.
I believe it, and she had 1.5 at the restaurant.
She has a very large wine closet. I think it used to be a pantry.
It was the pantry,
but there
yeah.
are just wine bottles in there now.
Yeah.
And
It has
boxes.
been nothing but me being the disappointment to my mom, as you recall.
You're not a disappointment to your mother. We've gone over this. That's not your mom. I didn't know her, but I'm sure that you're not a
But you
disappointment to her.
met me when I got hired. We both know what I was like back then. I was a fuck up.
People are allowed to change. You're young. You're not even. He gets really nervous for a second. You're not even 26.
Yeah.
He's like a little bit of.
You got it. You got it.
Okay. Nah, it's listen, it's late. You don't take this the wrong way. I know this is gonna sound terrible, but you look really tired.
Yeah, I haven't been sleeping.
So we don't have to talk now.
Do you just want to go to bed?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
Are you staying here or?
Your aunt invited me, but I do not have to. There are places nearby I can stay.
And Lisa's gonna be like, hold on. And she's gonna go up to Aunt Viv's room. Hey, Cody. She's asleep. She's she's gonna leave a text message, and she's gonna leave a note for Jamie, and she's gonna go with Cody to find like a hotel room.
Okay. Yeah, and you'll be able to find something relatively nearby. Nothing great. But
Oh
you'll be
yeah,
able to
no,
find something.
we're going like cheapy, like
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Easily enough done. We can end the scene there. It is very awkward, but
Oh yeah, like there's no hanky panky. This is just
no.
she's.
no.
They're gonna like
It's
awkwardly
very-
sleep like back to back. Like there's
Yep.
not even cuddling happening.
Nope. I agree.
Yeah.
And we'll say the night passes for you. Maggie, Declan, do you two just go back to your various hotels?
Yeah, I don't feel like socializing with Maggie. She was being mean to me earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Luca, you do your shift to the stakeout, your Toby.
Yeah, I've got a can of Pringles, a gallon, a jug of water,
Okay.
overlooking an apartment that's supposed to be a safe house. Thinking of the noise, the voices I heard before I left the apartment. Like, what, master? Waiting for answers? Oh, God, yeah.
And we'll say eventually the sun does come up, Luca, as you do manage to stay awake, but I'm going to say that it's definitely, I'm trying to remember the sleep. I looked this up for Ashley and I totally forgot to write this down, but I'm going to say that you probably are going to have some sleeplessness issues for yourself. I think, so I'm just double checking. So the first time you're aged, this is just for specific temporary insanity.
Exhaustion.
Is that what I'm looking for?
Works too long.
Okay.
Without
so
resting.
yeah, like loses 1d6 willpower and at the handler's discretion may suffer. Okay, so Luca, roll a d6. And I'm going to say
Ooh, it's a 5.
retroactively, Lisa, you should have been doing this the night before, so roll a d6 as well and lose that much willpower.
Dang. Puts me at 2.
And then how much? What?
Puts me at 2.
Put you at 2, which I think means something. Also, we'll just say minus 10% to your rolls today. Lisa, I'm going to say because you got sleep, you're okay. So essentially, Luca, we're going to put you at minus 20 actually, because low willpower, which is 1 to 2 willpower, is basically emotional breakdown. And considering everything that you've been through, that weird encounter you had when you were leaving, being late to work, not getting any sleep, I think minus 20% certainly makes sense. So you're kind of in breakdown stage. Okay. But it's Saturday in New York, just before fall. It's hot and muggy, and all of you in your various locales wake up. What is it? What's the plan? It's Saturday, mid-morning or so. So all of you get some decent sleep, maybe even, early afternoon, in fact. What's the next stage of the investigation? What happens now?
Would I be able to run a personal errand before the investigation?
Of course you can.
I would like to get hardcover copies of my entire bibliography and sign each of them, and then write a note saying, "Found the cat, thanks. Sorry I didn't get to say goodbye." And I'm going to send it to the guy because I got his information before we
You
went
do
in the
actually
building.
have his
Gene?
information.
And I wanna
do
overnight
actually
it.
have Okay. I mean, you could actually send it. It could get there today. Like you can actually
Okay, yeah,
hire
by
a
messenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. It's going to be expensive because he does live out, I believe, in Hempstead. If I recall correctly, I'd have to look it up, but he's out in Long Island.
Uber didn't exist yet.
No, 2011. When did Uber come to the play? Yeah, probably.
Did it?
Probably.
Maybe.
I don't know off the top of my head. Regardless, yes, you can go ahead and send that. Your literary agent is able to get that sorted for you. So you get on the phone with Tabitha to get this sorted, and it is a little bit of an intense conversation. He's like, "Oh, you feeling better today? Huh? You feeling good? Yeah."
I'm still lingering. I'm not doing that well, but I'm better. Yes.
Who is this person I'm messaging over your books to? Who is this person?
He's the maintenance guy for the hotel. I was throwing up so much that I don't want to get into it. The plumbing messed up. So he came cleaned it. He turns out he was a fan. I just want to send him some books as a thank you.
Roll a persuasion test. She's gonna do what she said. She's gonna do exactly what you said. It's just whether or not she thinks you're lying to her again.
70 in persuade, rolled a 57. Rolling a lot of 50s.
And you just hear her sigh like, all right, it's fine. Am I canceling? Are you just going to close down for the weekend and everything? Is that what it is?
At least one more day. I'll try to be back at it by Sunday.
You've got an MPI on Monday. You going to be able to record
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel better, sweetie.
Thank you. It's been rough.
Okay. Well, rub some dirt in it or something. And then she hangs up the phone. Okay. So I open it up again. What is the next phase of the investigation, guys? I have no idea. So you guys tell me.
I wake up and dust off the Pringles from my shirt.
He slept through the whole stakeout.
Minimal movement. I got to get myself cleaned up. I'm feeling terrible. Hesitate to turn the shower on. But I power through.
Okay. We'll say your brother is not there. He's already left for the day. Okay. Maggie.
Is Chelsea in the room when Maggie wakes up?
Chelsea is in the room once again. She is sleeping. She looks like she had another heavy night, Friday night in New York. She is still in her club clothes.
Okay. I would say in the morning, Maggie, maybe 10-ish, might try to make some coffee again. See if maybe she can grab a quick brunch with Chelsea.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. We can say that happens. We don't necessarily play the whole thing out, but we can say that she is none too pleased with you. But at the same time, you're finally doing something with her on this girl's trip. So at a certain point, she lets it go. Tells you all about her escapades the night before. Asks you all about your escapades the night before and what you were doing. So what do you tell her? We don't have to play it off, but what do you tell her?
Yeah, I mean, she passed it off as work stuff. So, I feel like because it was Chelsea's dad that got her the job. So I think Chelsea kind of gets the whole like government contract stuff, that it's not really a thing you kind of dish details on. Just work stuff, just crappy timing.
And go ahead and give me a persuade test to
40.
Just to see if she can sense that you're lying to her.
79.
Okay. Okay. So you start saying it's work stuff and everything. And she's like, yeah, work stuff. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Lots of work stuff. And then she kind of gives you like this sidelong glance. Get the sense that maybe she thinks you're covering for a special little rendezvous you might have had, and that you're not trying to kiss and tell, so to speak. But we'll say the brunch goes well. You seem to make up a little bit with her, and she doesn't seem as angry, but she is planning a very fun night and afternoon, and so it would be rude of you not to sort of participate in that. But she kind of goes through her plans and all that kind of stuff. Eventually you probably go back to the hotel first and kind of get cleaned up and stuff. But she is like kind of going through everything that she wants to do, kind of giving this itinerary of like where she wants to go. She heard about this place, and then she heard about this place, and there's these people I met last night. Like, definitely want to meet you. I told them all about you. I said, oh, she's so much fun. I lied, of course, because you're not, but whatever. So she kind of goes through this like rapid this rapid fire thing. What is it that you guys want to do next with the investigation? I ask again.
Since I'm having an emotional breakdown,
Hmm?
I don't think I do anything until someone asks me of it. So
Okay,
I try to
so you-
regain willpower.
Are you just like crashed, sleeping all day in your apartment?
Yes.
Okay,
Because then you can recover 1d6 willpower.
sure. Okay. At a certain
they
point, I'm just going to resolve this with Luca. At a certain point, Luca, you're sleeping. You wake up. You got your Pringles on you. Your brother's not here, and you go back to bed. It's Saturday. Who cares? You look at your phone. There's nothing from the people that you've been working with yet, and you go back to bed. Hours pass. You sleep. At a certain point, you wake up and you realize the bed is very, very wet. And for a moment, you think you might have had an accident or spilled something. And you're kind of like maybe feeling around, but no, you're fine. And you realize that the bed feels out of balance. You roll over and you see that there is a large, soaking wet, bloated woman lying in the bed next to you, eyes closed. And as you're looking at her, like whatever start that you do as upon seeing it, her eyes open, and then poof, you wake up in your bed. You are actually wet. You're most likely just from cold, terrible sweat. The sheets of your bed are soaking wet. It is evening. You can see that the sun is actually going down. You have managed to get sleep. Your heart is racing, but your bed is soaking wet.
Oh, how long have I been out? And I'll get up, start cleaning up.
Okay. All right. Declan, you had something.
I was just gonna say for the next stage, the only place we haven't been to was the Elders abduction. I think it was the one at the storefront.
Yeah. That's
So I
right.
think that's where I would try to start.
Okay. All right. Lisa, you have a very awkward morning.
Yeah.
Cody's like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go. Like, I can change my flight. It's not a problem. I saw Jamie. I told her we'll hang out when she gets back. I can just go. We can talk when you get back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this. This is an invasion. I thought it was, I had ideas, but never mind. It's not important. Would Lisa take him to the airport? Would Lisa just let him?
No, I think
Rather
at this
himself.
point she would.
Okay. You're probably just riding with him on the air, on the trains.
Yeah,
Um,
and then once she walks him to his gate kind of thing, gives him a kiss,
Mhm.
a hug goodbye. She'll actually wait till he boards the train or
Yeah.
the airplane, and then
Mhm.
that's when she'll head back.
Okay.
And then her plan for the day is to snag Jamie and actually maybe hit up the library because she's got some stuff that she wants to look into further.
Okay. You went to bed pretty late, because you didn't get back to Aunt Viv's
It was
until
like
2.
Yeah.
And then by the time you had probably
Booking.
checked in,
hmm
checking Saturday, probably
Is it
local
even open?
libraries and
Library
stuff like
hours.
that. Yeah, I'm looking for libraries. There's local library, and then there's like New York Public Library, which I think it closes early afternoon. I think you probably are going to miss it, to be honest, since you're taking him. Since you probably
Okay.
woke
Yeah.
late,
The
took him.
libraries I'm finding close at like 3 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding too. So we'll say that you missed that opportunity by the time you get done, because it's not a quick trip to the airport. it's
That's fair.
almost an all-day affair.
Then maybe what she'll do is just see, because she's got decent computer science, see what kind of like records and such that she can find and have access to online.
Yeah, you don't have any access to special databases on your phone. or on your computer. You don't have anything like that. You're just Google searching stuff and hitting like Wikipedia and whatnot, which is not really where you're at this point. Like at this point, you've done that level, so there's really
Okay, that's already been covered. Okay.
So like you're looking to go into sort of deeper stuff. Like you know that there's history about the mansion hinted at from your files, but none of that seems to be on any kind of online databases or anything like that. So it's like nothing that's sort of public. So you would probably need to either kind of what Luca was doing, get into his specific DEA, files, or get into old scholarly research through, public libraries, New York Public Library.
Okay, so she'll have to do that the next morning then. Okay.
What about Monday?
Monday, got it. What about because there were like rumors that, what was it, the Sudum family, or was it Bond?
Suddium. Yeah.
Suddium.
I think it was Suddium.
Who had rumors of being involved with the occult.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see if Lisa can just gather all of the rumors that are at least public. Is that something, or would that also be a library?
That's what I mean. Like any of that kind of stuff, that's not the type of thing that's just going to show up on a random website. That's a place that you're going to have to dig into old newspapers, which involves going to a library that might actually have records of them or have digitized them, police records as well. So those types of things you would have to find in that
okay, fair.
In that arena. Okay. All right. So we'll say Luca spends the day sleeping. Lisa spends the day, well, at least the first half of the day, a little bit more than the first half of the day, dealing with Cody. Maggie, Declan, what do you guys do for the first, for most of the day?
Or the third
I would
house?
assume I would assume most of my morning goes to getting the books around, getting the messenger and all that, and then I would go to the storefront and I would text everyone to say where I'm going. So Maggie, you could absolutely show up around the same time.
Is that what you want to do, Maggie, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, I would say storefront and then just interviewing the dad like we interviewed the other moms.
Okay. That sounds good. So there's basically, you're talking about two different sites. The first two sites where abductions were taking place were both from the home, either within the home itself or from like the yard. This specific case was different because this case was from a public place. So like it was a small little kind of like street market area where the child went missing. Let me pull up my notes, see what I got. This was Franklin Elders or Frankie Elders, and
Street market in the Borean neighborhood.
I don't think you guys did any major research yet on this.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you didn't do anything this one. Okay, so to kind of refresh your memory, let me pull this back up, and to refresh my memory. Let me see. It's one of those PDFs with like tons of like images and stuff in it, so it takes a little long to load.
So he disappeared on a Tuesday.
Just
in April.
Okay. So black male, age 11 months, father Devin Elders, Atlantic Avenue Street Market in the Boream Hill neighborhood. You have details that the father was sitting nearby. He was eating pizza. There were witnesses. The child was walking back and forth to this nearby food tent that was unoccupied. At one point, they went as witness reports have stated and corroborated the father's story. At one point, the kid went behind a tent, was laughing, and then was never seen again. The father was definitely an initial suspect. He was sort of being pressed quite significantly. Even some news outlets were kind of starting to run with that a little bit, but once all these witnesses kind of came forward, he was kind of quickly cleared. So there was also on May 10th, which is more than a month. There were remnants of child's clothing that were found at the mouth of a drainage pipe near the Brooklyn Heights Piers, which is about a kilometer away from this market. It had rips and tears consistent with animal bites and scratches, that there was no blood was present. And like the current theory that the police were working on was that Frankie fell down into a sewer catch basin opening and drowned. But since no body was technically discovered, the case is still open. But you don't get the sense that it is extraordinarily active. They seem to be resigned to it, and it's just kind of officially open, but unofficially, they're not doing much with it. So, you guys want to go to where do you want to go first?
I think I'd like to go where they found the clothing.
Okay. So then you have all of this was in your Delta Green debrief file. So you would be able to, the Brooklyn Heights Piers, not too far away. Let me see if we have it on our map. Let's see. Got our Brooklyn map. So you're heading about a kilometer west. If you look on our Brooklyn map that you guys can see. Sorry, audience. But about a kilometer west, you can see right where the water is. There's a series of piers. You can kind of look around there. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm sure there's some level of openness. But how are you guys kind of? What's your story? Like if you're pressed, if someone kind of asks you questions, if various dock workers or pier security or anything like that tries to kind of interfere, like what's your basic story here?
Maggie?
Stick with what was been working before.
Private investigators.
Yeah.
And we would try to be polite. Like if someone said like you're not supposed to be here, we'd just try to politely explain, and if they tell us to leave, I think I'd leave.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Just give me one. Your private investigators. Give us a persuade test, and we'll see how you do, and that'll kind of determine the ease with which you kind of get access to this little private area.
I need a 70 for persuade. I've been rolling 50s all night. I got a 55. That is a crit success.
Okay. So I'm going to say then what happens is you encounter a security guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's so tragic. That's terrible. I heard that they tried to put it on the father. Like, it's terrible. I know. I got a boy his age. I remember that day. I was like, oh man, that's just a couple months back. I was here. I was on the job when we found the clothes, the remains. I'm not sure what the right word is, but I didn't find them specifically, but some guys I knew did. I saw it, so I was there. Poor guy, poor father, But yeah, the cops were looking around. They, the whole like tape it off type of thing, clear this crime scene, et cetera, and all that kind of stuff. But, I don't know. What are you going to do? It's a violent city sometimes, but it's a shame. It's just a shame that they do this to kids, whoever it was.
You said you were here that day.
Yeah.
Would you mind answering a couple questions?
Me? I don't know what I could say, but sure. I can.
We're working a theory that animal took the remains. I don't know if you've seen any like large cats or even like raccoons or anything like that might have unfortunately dragged him away. If we can find the remains, we'll be able to figure out what happened.
Oh yeah, man. We get animals around him all the time. It's the waterfront, man. It's
is there a place they tend to congregate, that they have nests or anything?
Nests? Nah, not really. I can't think of any. But I could show you some places, but when we find them, we shoo them out, and then they get in the pipes and everything. It's mainly what it is they get in the pipes from time to time. The small ones that we can't chase them into, we call people out, to kind of clear them, but it's too expensive, and usually just kind of hose them down, and the water comes up, and they kind of flock somewhere else. You're never going to get rid of them entirely. It's just, there's just so many in there. But yeah, there's some. We see, cats for sure. We see cats, absolutely. Some of them are sweet, some of them are nice, and others are feral. You get anywhere close and they'll scratch your eyes out. And raccoons, huh? Jeez. Maybe I can't say that. Maybe. I don't know, off the top of my head, I can't say I've seen a raccoon. But cats for sure, yeah.
Is there a cat that's been particularly angry or aggressive with you? Maybe it's got a reputation around here to stay away from it.
Oh, yes. There's this freaking Tabby. Oh, my God. She is fatter than my Aunt Myrtle. Oh, my goodness. And just as angry. She's got claws that I'm pretty sure they could rake through steel. And he kind of rolls up his sleeve. See, right here, this one time, all I was trying to do. Oh,
she really got you.
Yeah, she got me really good. I had to get stitches for this. Stitches. What the hell is that? Ugh.
They try to give you a shot too.
Oh yeah. It's the feral, But it's okay. I mean, animal control took her away. They put her somewhere. I don't know. I imagine they put it down. Maybe I don't know. Attitude like that, I doubt they're gonna. They're gonna put that in a family home.
When did that happen?
When did that happen?
The scratching.
Oh, this was, man. Well, it wasn't too far after the boy went missing. It was before the close, though. It's like late April, maybe something like that. Yeah, it was late April. That's what it was. Yeah.
This is gonna sound weird. Would you mind showing us where it happened? I mean, it's a long shot, but we just want to follow every thread we can.
Yeah, sure. And he's this way. Come on here. And he's like, hey, you look really familiar. Have I seen you somewhere before?
Just one of those faces.
No, not you. Not you, ma'am. You look so familiar. Your face. I swear.
Declan is crestfallen right now.
Just one of those faces,
Yeah, I can't place it. I could have sworn it was like this morning. I could have sworn. Anyhow, maybe I'm wrong. Anyhow, it's over here. And he kind of waves you over. And it's like this little, there's like a bench here. It stinks over here. And you can kind of see some of some of the waterfront here and there. And there's like kind of no greenery around in any which direction. You can see that there's just all manner of just bird shit, just coating the railing here and there. Right down there, if you can see, there's that little drainage pipe right there. Nothing's coming out right now, but anyhow, it used to come up from there, and then it would come, and then sometimes people who were sitting on the bench, they'd kind of feed it or whatever, and it was right around here. So,
thank you. If you don't mind, we're just gonna poke around a little bit, maybe take some pictures or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. But he kind of looks down. Yeah, you're gonna have to clear. You don't have that much time.
We won't be more than 5 or 10 minutes.
Sure. No, are you sure? You're not on TV or something?
Oh, definitely not on TV.
That's like that.
She's not good with people. I doubt she would be.
That's very nice of you to say, but no, that's not a skill I have. That whole acting thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, maybe you just got one of the faces.
I definitely have. I've been told I've definitely got one of those faces. But you've been very helpful this morning. It's a very, very nice of you.
Yeah. No problem. Morning. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. Wait. Oh my God! It's almost like 3:00 in the afternoon. What are you talking about?
You're probably almost done with your shift. Thanks for showing us around, man.
Yeah, no problem. Double time on the weekend. It's fine. All right. Well, I'll see y'all. And he kind of...
Yeah, thank you so much. You've been great.
And yeah, you guys have a little bit of time. Is there something in particular you're looking for?
First, I would want to ask Maggie if she has a phone that connects to the internet.
That tends to be what they do these days.
Smartphones have only been around for like 4 years, so I didn't know if you got one yet.
Yeah, kind of important for work things.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
You might want to check Brooklyn news, you might be wanted. Just double check to be safe.
And so Maggie will pull out her phone and look for.
You find that there are some sort of news articles up with a sketch of you, some grainy footage, something about a man getting hit by a car while chasing some kind of vandal, and then apparently a nearby construction site being broken into. There is uncertainty as to what the motivation might be, but most people assume it had to do with stealing copper and trying to get drug money or something like that. And you see, it's not a great sketch of you, but you can certainly see your features.
Well,
You should get that taken care of. You might want a lawyer up.
yeah. Need to. This is just great. And
Anyways,
Maggie's
just get
problem for later.
Let's focus, on the work here. In no sense dealing with things we can't control.
All right.
Snapping pictures and looking around, and
Jeff.
Hmm.
On her way back from the airport, Lisa's
Sure.
gonna be casually like checking out news articles.
Yeah, you're
And
on
she's
you're on the train, so you're probably got
Yeah.
something to do. Yeah.
She's gonna pop off, and because she recognizes that she needs to get some wigs and such for her other members of this. She's gonna try and find something for Declan, so he's not as obvious
Okay.
to be Declan, and something
Sure.
for Maggie.
Glasses with the
Lisa-
mustache.
Lisa, you see a sketch very clearly of Maggie as you're just sort of like just numbly going through, and then you kind of find some you can just go to some random place. Lisa, I doubt this is too extravagant that we need to do any kind of roll or anything like that. So this one's simple enough. Sure,
Yeah, she's
no
gonna
problem.
get Declan like some sort of like long wig.
Okay.
This very beachy blonde.
Okay.
And then she'll what color hair does Maggie have?
dyed blonde.
Okay, yeah. So she's gonna get you something
Just
very
like
dark
Melissa.
brunette. Couple wig caps. So you can easily hide your blonde hair, etc.
Okay.
Get some hobbit curls going.
Oh my gosh.
So Lisa, you're taking care of some shopping, getting some equipment in the afternoon. We'll still say that you guys got you got a little bit more time before Luca would probably get wrapped back up into this. So like, what were you doing at the sort of the dock area, the piers?
I know there wouldn't be a lot of clues, but I would just look for, any threads of clothing or anything like that.
Yeah. Go ahead and I'll let you, the roll for forensics maybe. Yeah. I'll take a forensics. I'll take a search at -20. As it's really not much there, but I'll take a search at -20. Or you could just
I've got
roll
a
if you have
0 in forensics. So
Okay.
I'll take the -20.
Okay.
Can I do a forensics and see if we get different things?
Absolutely.
Forensics at 30. So, we'll
Okay.
see. I'm going to take
for
an
it.
audience to try to make that to a little bit higher, but I'm not.
I needed a 21. I got a 69, which normally would be nice, but not right
Nice.
now.
Nice. What about you,
It's
Maggie?
still pretty nice.
Because I took an audience, I got
Nice.
a 32 under 40 for forensics.
Okay. I'll say that you look around, and at some point maybe you hop down to peer at the drainage. You don't notice any, and there's no physical evidence left. Like the cops were here. It's all been swept. It doesn't look like they left anything behind. What I will say is that the size of this drainage pipe is fairly small. And I don't know if Maggie's got any friends with young kids. Like, while it's possible a child could fit into this, like it would be it would be fairly difficult for them to sort of travel so far in a drainage pipe without kind of scraping and kind of cutting here and there. Like, it's just unlikely. Even this young child, like, it doesn't quite add up to you that somehow he like washed out of here. That just doesn't make any sense considering the size.
Okay. And so I'm guessing, given that information, that the creature that Maggie saw would not be a creature that would be fitting in this either, because the creature was even bigger.
The creature is like about 3 feet tall. But like cats, you do know they can kind of contort themselves and squish themselves down. So you're not really sure. Like, animals, like, the head wasn't as big as like a human head. It had a human face, but it wasn't like a giant human head on top of a 3 foot tall rodent's shoulders. It's just, they definitely look a little peculiar, but no one else saw that.
Yeah.
It's just you, Maggie. Everyone else just saw rodents or a cat or something like that. So.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know, Declan, the sizes just kind of seem off with this whole, but I mean, it was definitely an animal, and I've seen a weird monster animal thing with a human face thing. So, like, I think that's pretty clear that there's something animalistic involved with this.
It's definitely a shape changer, or it gets in your head somehow and makes you see what it wants you to see. Well, we're not going to find much here. The only thing I can think of is to go back to the mansion.
I would like to talk to the father.
Fine, let's do it.
Okay. So we'll say you guys go and you visit Devon Elders. Time-wise, we'll say, Luca, I just want to get a sense of what's your plan once you wake up. You feel a little bit more refreshed. You spent the entire day sleeping. Clean up a little bit, both maybe yourself, maybe the room, whatever it might be. Like, what is Luca up to next?
Yeah, I'll update the team on what I heard and get an update from what they found after I left. And then I would try and get in contact with Tomas,
Okay.
the construction worker.
Okay.
And I want to see if I can get a meeting with, I forget what he said. It's either his grandmother or his aunt. That knew the weird stuff.
That's a great question. I don't remember if it's grandmother or his aunt off the top of my head. I'll look it up. I have the notes here. But yeah, you can give that a try. And then Lisa, after you do your wig shopping, what was your plan after that?
Depending on what everyone else is doing, she'll, like, in the group chat, she obviously reaches out and advises that she wants to research some things, but the library is closed. And she doesn't have clearance to get access to anything else. So if she's able to get away from Aunt Viv and Jamie, she'll maybe go to visit the interview, but if they're just going to interview this guy, she'll probably just stay home and see about tomorrow, starting fresh.
And we could also say that, like, it within the group chat, Maggie would have shared the picture of the door because they were all of the symbols that were on the back of the door.
Oh, okay.
I would have been able to get better pictures in the hotel too, since we took it with us.
Well, that I don't know where I would search for that. That's probably not on the
Just
internet.
remember, it's 2011 photos, not 2023
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
keep that. Yeah.
I pulled up photos from 2011 and I'm like, these aren't great.
It was awesome
Honestly,
back then to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But like, compared to today, like, today's phones are absurdly good.
It makes me think I looked better in 2011.
I don't think that's possible, Steven. You just keep getting better with
thank you.
age. Okay, so let's start then, just to get Luca. We'll say you get on you do have contact information for Tomas Cardoso Gomez. You know that younger guy. You you know that your mother, or his mother, excuse me, was the one that he was talking about. Do you go to him? You do actually have his. You have his contact information. You have his apartment. You have all that info inside the Delta Green.
Instead of just randomly showing up, if I can give him a call instead of showing up out of the blue.
Okay. All right. Sure. So we'll say the phone rings and a woman's voice answers. Heavy, sort of Portuguese accent, as she tries to sort of greet who's there. What do you say?
Hi, this is Tomas. Or can I get a hold of Tomas?
God damn it.
That's what I meant.
Woman to answer the phone
That's what I meant.
with the heavy Portuguese accent. And you say, "Is this Tomas?" God damn it. Okay. We'll say Tomas will get a roll a luck test. We'll see if Tomas is there.
Luck test.
Yeah.
65?
All right. She's just like, no, I'm sorry. He's out with friends.
Who may be I speaking with?
This is his mother. And I don't want to do like
Sure.
but it's just imagine this is all coming through with like a very, very thick accent here. But she could say like, Rebecca, are you one of his friends?
Oh, yes, Alexei. He told me a lot about you.
I don't just, and Tom, he never mentioned an Alexei.
One of his newer friends. I've recently met him.
Do you work at the construction site?
Oh, no. I was a buyer there, and I met him by chance. And he told me that you knew about some of the happenings there.
Yeah, what do you mean? I know that he works very hard, and he's a very hard worker, and I know that he's doing a good job, and I know that if he keeps working, he's going to do even better. I know, and you can hear her kind of giggle. I know that he might have a crush on one of the other workers there, but he won't talk about it too much.
Oh, he spoke a bit more. There's a room there was strange, and you happen to know about it.
A room? That is strange. I'm sorry, Alexei. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'd be as direct as possible to explain what he told me.
Okay.
Oh,
So
the
he
ritual.
told you that he heard voices in the building when no one was around, and one of them spoke to him in Portuguese. And when he told his mother about this, his mother thinks that basically it's haunted with spirits, and that because she is a follower of, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Candomblé, which is like a Brazilian voodoo, and basically she gave him some things to do to try to help like cleanse it of spirits or kind of scare the spirits away, that kind of thing.
Then I'll go along those lines and say, I've heard voices there too.
They're still there? Oh, they spoke to my Thomas. They spoke to him, and I thought maybe it was he that was being haunted, but then he never heard them here, and he never heard them anywhere but in the building. Yeah, they are Exu, she says. It's a messenger spirit.
They want me to come back.
Do they? What do they want?
They have answers for me.
Well, did you think they were, and she's like struggling for a second for the word. Do you think they were bad spirits or good spirits?
didn't feel like they were a threat.
Oh. Then, are you going to go back?
I do plan to, but not before I got some sort of answers.
Well, I told him, Thomas, he said he did not like their feeling. He said that they made him feel, and the place made him feel bad. So I told him how to chase them away. You have to make an offering. And so shells, and she kind of gets kind of quiet. And you're his friend, right?
Oh, I haven't been completely truthful. I've only met him once.
And you don't work there?
No, I never said I did.
You're not trying to get my Thomas in trouble, are you?
No, of course not. Thomas is perfectly fine.
He's a good boy. He works very hard.
Of course.
You know, he's very smart, my boy. He could have gone to college. It's why he's working. He's getting money so that he can pay and put himself through college. So Alexei, please. Don't tie this to Thomas. He can't get fired. He can't lose his job.
Yes, I will not involve him at all. This is only the voices that I wish to have answered.
Well, if you just want them to answer, then go talk to them.
Easy enough.
But if you want them to go away, or at least get them to leave you alone, I told Thomas to cowrie shells and the head of a pigeon and a few words, and leave it on the sill or a doorway or a window, something that an exit, something that would lead them out, and then maybe they will go. But it cannot come back to Thomas.
I'll make sure it doesn't.
Okay.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You're welcome, Alexei.
Tell Thomas I said hi.
I will. So, phone hangs up. We'll cut then over to, are the three of you now going to the home of Devon Elders?
No. If I
Okay.
can try and research online. I know.
You don't want to hang out with us. We're gonna go like
Guys,
3 days and not hang out together.
I cannot make this any clearer.
Well, I'll
All
go
the
to make it
online
easier.
research is no. It's not that. It's just like you like. There's what are you trying to research this time? Online?
See if I can find any information on like occult sigils because of the pictures that they sent that they found.
You can find plenty. I'll tell you this without even rolling. You can find plenty of information about occult symbols. There is absolutely nothing that corresponds
matches.
to the door thingy that they showed you, the hint
Okay.
on the panel.
I think she would just be eliminating things that aren't related.
Okay. So the other two of you then are going to this the home of poor Devon Elders. Door opens up, apartment again. You see a distraught man, late 20s, early 30s. You smell booze on him. You can tell that he has it's late, I would say it's probably evening on a Saturday. He doesn't look well when the door opens up, and it's through a chain, and he's kind of looking out at you. He's like, "What do you want?"
Apologies for bothering you. We're private investigators investigating the disappearance of a child, and we were hoping to ask you some questions about your case to possibly see if the two might be linked.
You trying to say I took someone else's kid now?
No, of course not. No, we want to know.
No.
We want to find the person who took your son.
So you believe then that I didn't take him? You don't
Of
think
course,
that
the evidence speaks for itself. There was surveillance footage and
the
everything.
evidence? The cop said he fell down a sewer basin, drowned, and then got washed out. You got something new?
And that's what we're hoping to talk to you for. We're trying to break an older case, and we're hoping that you might be the key. I
might be the
apologize.
key.
I know this is a hard time.
I
Just
might
anything
be the
you would
key.
know.
So, something that you might have seen or something like that. It seems that the police have been treating these as separate incidents, and we're trying to connect them.
What, you think there's someone out there pushing kids down to sewer basins? Is that what this is? Come on.
There's someone out there who's been abducting children, and there's been several cases recently. They happen every month, and yours seems to fit the pattern.
Fit the patterns. Serial. You gotta be kidding me.
I know,
Yours is actually
Guys,
in the
he's-
middle.
He's
There was
looking at
one
you
a month
guys.
before. There was one a month
Guys, I-
after. So it's really kind of the connection between the three, possibly.
We're not trying to open old wounds. We're just trying to solve this. We want to bring
You guys
justice to
are
whoever did it.
fucking private investigators. You just fucking press. Gonna write your little stories. You're gonna put it on your little blogs, whatever the fuck they call them, and you say
No.
what a
I
bad
don't know what a
father
blog
I
is. I'm
am. How I
sorry.
gotta keep my eye on my boy more. It's all my fault. That kind of thing. Is that what it is?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are 3 parents that are grieving, and we're trying to do everything that we can to solve
I
these.
promise you, anything you tell
mysteries.
us will never be published, ever.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion. Whichever one of you wants to do it.
I went ahead and rolled, and I rolled a 90, and I needed a 70. There was one lolly, so I got excited, but it was on the wrong die.
Okay. He looks at you guys and he says, "You guys are fucking filth. Coming to a grieving father's home, pretending to give him hope. You fucking filth." And he spits out at you and slams the door in your face.
Did he spit at me or Maggie?
He spit at Maggie.
Of course.
Sorry.
Of
It was
course.
50-50.
Little victories.
It was totally 50-50.
It's just, and she is, she, until the door closes, she definitely kind of stays composed. And then kind of takes a step back. And of course, in her bag, she's got tissues. She's
Sure.
We should get you
Always
some disinfectant. It's easy to get sick that way. I don't know. I mean, he didn't seem very healthy.
It's New York.
You should get that taken care of.
It's fine. It's not a problem. Let's
Okay.
move off
I'm
of
just
his
concerned about your well-being. It's all right. We'll move on.
doorstep. Yes, so concerned about my well-being, the well-being of the face that is now all over New York local news for. Yes.
Maybe that's why he spit at you instead of me. He probably recognized the face. Well, that didn't go very well, did it?
I can't blame these parents. We're not giving them answers yet. We're just asking for more of them.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Call animal control on the mansion? Call it a day?
I'm still curious what we may be able to figure out with the sewers, but let's get everybody together and figure out what we're going to do next.
4 minds are better than one.
All right. So do you guys all get together?
No, that's not the
Yes.
type of game
No,
we're
of course not.
playing.
Of course not.
This is the Blade
Yes, we
Runner
do.
crew. We split up as much as we can.
Please don't do that. I can't.
Yeah, no.
I can't think about
Honestly, it's kind of dividing along the same lines too.
it. Really
Ashley
is.
and Long
If
are
only
going
Derek was
separate
here.
directions, and
Yeah.
Melissa and I are.
And Derek would, actually, no, Long would always go off on his own.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
usually
Oh.
have
Look
Derek.
Dante, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch! You giving hand jobs in the alley again, motherfucker.
them spirits. You
I think of that voice every other Friday. It's always running through my head.
I gotta make that like a playable character at some point. That's gonna be my teenage Marvel X-Men character.
Yes, I would
Oh
love
my
that.
god!
You son of a bitch.
My power.
My powers! I've already been through puberty 3 times.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
feeling a 4th one coming, but I'm really hoping not.
James,
That
it's not
hurts
power.
my voice. How do you do that? All
That's a
the time?
curse. That's a
It
curse.
hurts mine too. Okay. All right. Let's focus, guys. Jeez.
Stop,
New
Jeff.
York City
damn-
Pizza
this is
Parlor.
Serious investigation.
This is serious. Okay, speaking.
Serious. All right.
So we're meeting up.
At an Olive Garden. Where are you going? Or are you guys
they
all
got
meeting up? Are you
unlimited,
guys-
unlimited breadsticks, Jeff.
That could go for an Olive Garden.
God damn it.
We're gonna
Don't
make
go to an Olive Garden.
Luke
Come
and
on.
Dante go to an Olive Garden.
Inferno's talking about Italian food all the time. We might as well go to Olive
You
Garden.
guys serious at Olive Garden?
I'm gonna put it's nighttime.
Okay.
8:00. I'll say, Lisa, you made it home, dinner, etc. You might be able to leave after dinner. Luca, you had your conversation with Tomas's mother. Declan, Maggie, you had your failed attempt to talk to Devon elders. And so we'll say schedules start to align, start to clear up, not till after 8:00. This doesn't mean you have to do anything tonight. Literally, like, we go home and we sleep is totally fine. But you guys check in with each other at the very least, whether it's in person, whether it's on the phone. What do you guys do? Do we meet up in person, or do we just like start fresh in the morning, start fresh on Monday, whatever it might be? What's the plan?
I think it'd be good to meet in person, but I want to push for that if people have things to do.
Yeah,
Saturday
agreed.
evening. We should meet up.
Want to meet up? Yeah.
Okay. Do you meet up at the same bar that you were at before? Do you just kind of meet
No,
up
no,
near
no.
somebody's
There-
hotel? Or
Come over.
There's an
here.
Olive Garden on Shore Parkway, so I think
Go
we'd go
closer
there.
to
New-
Lisa. Go
New
closer
York
to
City
Lisa.
Pizza Parlor. There's got to be a pizza parlor somewhere.
oh, for
Dollar
Christ's sake.
slice.
There you
You
go.
guys,
There you go.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys meet up. This music doesn't fit. You guys,
I feel
Yeah,
like
get some
it
Olive
kinda
Garden
does.
music going. We need some Italian.
when you're here, your family. You guys meet up at a restaurant in New York. We don't have to get too specific with it, but there will be pizza served. You're sitting down. Anyone drinking?
No.
I would have one,
Okay.
which might lead to 2. I'm a writer.
Okay. All right. So you're sitting around. It's past, by the time you guys all have to get together, it's past 8. It's pretty late, obviously, in the day for some of you who started early. Like Lisa, you started kind of early. Maggie and Declan, kind of as well. Luca, you slept all day, so you might have a little bit more energy than the rest of them. What do you guys talk about? What do you guys share with each other? What do you guys plan moving forward?
I would just like to go through every single detail that I have witnessed, and then ask Maggie and Luca what they've witnessed as well in the mansion. Lisa hasn't been inside the building, I don't think.
I have.
So it would be-
I
Oh,
saw
okay.
a rodent
Everyone has.
though. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Goodness.
Yeah.
And
She's the
You were
one that
looking
saw
for
the
the breaker,
scratches
weren't you?
in the prints.
Exactly.
I was looking for the breaker.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, so while we're having this meeting, I imagine Lisa's kind of being the scribe. Declan's, holding up pieces of information or whatever to kind of like get a timeline going, I guess, of everything that we found, everything that we've eliminated thus far. We have like a separate list going of the things that we need to look into further. Lisa has her own list that she brought of things that she believes that we need to research and further. Sewer lines, the occult stuff that the home was known for, especially because we have the pictures of those symbols. She brings the list of all the occult stuff that she was able to eliminate as not related. And yeah. And
I think it seems pretty clear that none of the parents seem to be like there wasn't anything obvious in at least the two homes that we were invited into. We didn't see any signs of occult or anything. They three of them all appeared to be genuinely distressed at the disappearance of their children. They don't seem to be occult connected in anything that we saw.
The only strange occurrences we've seen have been at that house. The room was strange, and the creature, you saw something very different than what I saw. I saw a black and white cat. You saw a rat monster. Those
With
are
a
where
human face, as she kind of dips her voice a little bit.
And those are where the strange things have happened. Luca had trouble with the room there. I feel like
I thought
that's
I heard
the
my mom.
epicenter. Yeah, everyone's seen something strange there now. And we found those symbols. I don't know what they mean. We'll never find out what they mean, most likely. But that is where the center is. We know the parents, they've all talked about cats or animals or something. There's that common thread. The question is, how do we catch it or get rid of it?
There's a voice
Break
there.
its power, maybe.
Spirits,
voice?
maybe. Yeah, I spoke with Rebecca, Thomas's mom, one of the construction workers.
Okay.
You
Possibly-
heard Rebecca's voice there?
Not Rebecca's voice, but no. Before I was leaving that night, I heard a voice.
And
It
you didn't
answers-
tell us sooner?
I told you about it in the message. Just checking if I really did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I start scrolling through my BlackBerry.
But
I must have missed that. What did it say?
it has answers for me. So something is in that house. Possible spirits.
Answers
What
to
questions
what?
did you
What
ask?
though?
Asked who it was. Wouldn't tell me.
So
Well,
it didn't have answers.
Okay.
I gotta go back for him.
I think we all agree that we do need to go back.
I don't know if any of you noticed this, but Lisa, Luca, I don't know if you know, my face, thanks to this one,
Oh.
and she kind of jerks her thumb toward Declan, is now all over local news because he thought it'd be a good idea to break into a car and tell me to go running. So,
I look where
I mean,
she
I
points.
ran. I have to own that. That wasn't him. I still did the running, but
Oh, so you're more
Um,
popular than Declan now.
the last
let's
place
not
we
go too
went,
far.
they did notice me and not him, which I'm not happy about.
I'm
though.
incognito. It makes sense. I'm not.
You are not incognito. You are so obvious. Stop wearing a turtleneck, first of all, when you're on
Can we focus on the
investigation.
case, please?
And as Lisa's doing this, she pulls out the wigs from like the bottom of her purse. They're like in plastic crinkle bags or whatever. She tosses one to Declan, one to Maggie. Yeah. So Maggie, saw your wonderful sketch online. Maybe you should be wearing a wig. Declan, I know you love being famous and popular, but maybe that's not so great for an investigation. With how many people are recognizing you, are you not even concerned that one guy is going to tattletale on you? Because when you're there with Maggie and you
I bought
told
him
him
off.
that you were Luca's sponsor?
Oh, I don't. No. I sent him my books. It's all good. It'll be fine.
And can I like look up his books to see if maybe he's got like some bad reviews popping up from this dude?
Okay. Let's not go that far.
I don't think you guys.
We're done
I
with
don't
the
think you-
online
I
research.
don't think you have
Jeff
enough
already said
time
it.
to search through all the bad reviews to see if you can find the guy's specific reviews.
Okay. Let's not go down that road. I am a
Tanking
New
on
York Times
Goodreads.
bestseller.
Oh my god, that is like not hard to do. Doesn't mean anything. Does not mean you have quality work.
But yeah.
So
But,
we know. I agree. I think come Monday, I think we need to see Luca with your I mean, you have the actual DEA badge. Do you think you might be able to get some, information from
You want this tying back on me?
city planning about? I mean, you have legit investigations that you're doing here. Like, you could be looking for sewer system map stuff as the investigation that you're doing. It's not a specific request necessarily.
I can pry, but it'll leave a trail.
It's true. Maybe we'll check with the library first. We also need to do some reconnaissance on the house, because I presume with everything that's already happened, the break-ins, the incident with whatever you guys did to that room, the security is going to uptick. If they're not going to have like a security person there, the cameras are going to be improved. So we need to determine when we can get in there and how we're going to stop that security system.
That takes time, though. They're not going to have it overnight.
Just want to throw this out there. A lot of times this magic is tied to a specific place, and destroying that place gets rid of the magic. There's no one living there. If we set fire to the building, there's a good chance we could solve this.
But you said that there was new construction over top of it. So who's to say that it's not just the building? What if it's the land?
Which, if the sewer connection is there, it might be more under than the building itself.
We never found an entrance to the sewer nearby, though. That's the problem that gets me. We didn't look at enough sewer maps, but still.
So it sounds
It might have
like,
just... Go ahead.
it just sounds like we do have some stuff we need to research, and then we'll make a final decision from there.
But it could
The other
just be
thing
that the sewers were just a highway for it.
Could be.
And that is part of my assumption, is just where do they go and what might that be? Something else we could try to do is, I mean, a lot of the people that work for this place have family with some unsavory history. So we could also go the blackmail route if we need to try to get access here again.
Well, whatever they're doing, I'm planning on heading there tomorrow evening. Listen to these voices.
I have to have this wrapped up by Sunday. I've got an NPR interview on Monday morning.
Oh, well, we're going to do stuff Monday night, so that's fine.
You mean
Today's
Sunday?
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah. I'm sure
Or-
the
libraries don't open till Monday morning.
I was double checking that. That is mostly true. There are, I think the New York Public Library does have Sunday hours, it looks like. But
Oh, okay.
most do not.
Perhaps a stakeout tonight? Luca,
No.
do you...
No.
I slept all day. I don't mind.
He's got experience with stakeout, and he's DEA, so he's got the badge for the cover. I'll stay up with you.
No one's ever told me that before.
I'm not.
That's kind of
Why would they?
Are you good?
It's always a solo stakeout.
Oh.
I mean, it is more
okay.
efficient that way when,
Yeah.
you're paid on a stakeout.
But you're not entering this evening, correct?
If there's no movement, I might.
No. We'll just watch. We'll just watch. And I give Luca a wink.
Oh, God. Okay, well, I'm going to the New York Library tomorrow morning. If any would like to go with me, I think we do need research first before we enter.
1 to 5 p.m. are the hours.
Perfect. I will be there at 1 p.m.
They are now.
the
I don't
dot.
know what they were in 2011. But we'll set it the same.
Text
I
me
can't wait.
if anything.
To the information you get, it's just totally unhelpful.
Yeah, I know.
All this just to go elaborate, and then you get it.
Fail the roll.
Yeah,
Crit fail.
Right.
that's probably
Okay.
what my luck's gonna be.
Mackie and Lisa are returning to their homes. Luca and Declan are going to stake out the condominiums again. Okay. Luca, Declan. Okay, so Maggie and Lisa, you leave. No problem.
Yep.
Luca and Declan, you go back to the mansion or back to the condominiums. Do you actually just stay in the car and watch the whole time?
For a couple hours till we get bored,
Yes.
Luca.
Luca, you just stay in the.
Unless I start
the whole
hearing
time?
voices here that lure me in. But yeah, I'll just stay here.
Okay. You stand or you stay in the car. Several hours pass. At no point
Would we be
do you
able
see-
to? Sorry, would we be able to do shifts so that like someone can sleep a little bit while the other one's watching?
If that's what you like, yeah. Okay.
Luca, what do you think?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Somewhere around 3:00 in the morning, Declan is curled up like a little baby cat in the back seat of whatever vehicle you have. Luca, you hear a voice in your head. It says, Luca, I know what you see. She can help. She can make the visions go away.
And who exactly is she?
There's a delay. They don't get kind of cagey. Do you want the visions to go away?
Yeah, yes, they're terrible.
Trying to think of. I'm always careful about. I got to be careful about how I phrase some things. Can you be trusted?
Many have trusted me.
Do you mean us harm?
Don't mean much people harm.
So, in Luca's mind, does he mean them harm? Does he, whatever this voice is, whoever this might be, whatever? Like, do you like?
I
What
don't view
is
these
Luca
voices as
thinking?
threats? And from my conversation with Rebecca,
Okay.
it's possible that they're good spirits, so I'll treat them as such. They're offering me
Okay.
help.
All right. So you hear, in time, not yet. The moon is not right yet. In several days, return. And enlightenment will be granted. You will see her.
It's a lot of promise. What if it saves me a couple hours sitting there? I'll drive Declan home.
Okay. So
We're not going in.
Nah, there's nothing happening.
All right.
So the last thing that the voice says to you before you wake up, Declan, return on the night of the new moon. Bring the gate, and we will show you how to enter. Do not tell the others who are with you. They mean us harm.
All right.
Okay. You wake up, Declan. It's just before sunrise. Do you say anything, Tim?
You said you'd stay up all night.
We took shifts. You slept first. It was okay.
Let's get home.
Did you see anything? Any cats?
It's too dark.
Any more voices?
Nothing other than yours.
Was I talking in my sleep?
Might have mumbled something.
I don't remember dreaming. Are we not going in?
No, we didn't really plan to.
Okay. Well, let's go then.
You start with the car. And you start driving away as the sun starts coming up on Brooklyn. And we will stop there and pick up there next time. Okay. All right.
Luca lied to
God.
Declan.
Long's gonna get us
Yeah.
killed.
Oh boy.
What
I'm
are you
all
talking
for
about?
it.
Long's found the secret cow level. It's gonna be great. All right. There we go. All right. Guys, I'm so excited. We made progress and stuff. It's great.
I want to get answers, but just more questions.
You made
Did we make
though.
progress?
Of course
We
you did.
did.
Yeah,
We
I'd say so.
did.
You guys found like the door.
It's always
thing.
hard for me to tell in an investigation.
It's true. You made progress. You didn't. Yeah, I think you guys have made progress. I really do think that you guys at times have taken the hard path here and there.
Never.
Like I am continuously fascinated between last Delta Green and this Delta Green. How absolutely unwilling you guys are to actually roleplay as law enforcement agents and get access to people and show badges and put pressure on them and give them a reason to answer questions. It's amazing to me. It's really fascinating. It's really
I don't have a
fascinating.
badge.
No, you don't. Someone does. Someone does. But
Is
it's
that
never
with me?
You mean like Delta Green badges?
No.
We are special agents with a organization called Delta Green. just start throwing that out there.
It's a piece of
Did
paper that's
Ronnie give us a
laminated.
little plastic badge?
You guys just have the little green triangle pin everywhere. It's where you go. You get windbreakers. It says Delta Green on the back.
We picked them up at the dollar store.
I'm sure that'll go well. I'm sure that'll go over absolutely.
Spirit
brilliantly.
Halloween.
Everyone's
Oh
like,
my
"Are you
goodness.
sure it's not Illuminati that you guys?"
That reminds me, Ashley, where the fuck is your Delta Green shirt? What the hell?
Oh, in the laundry.
You've had 2 weeks to wash that.
That
That's
tells you
gross.
how good I've been about laundry. No, I wore it yesterday, and then when I went to go to bed, I was like, "Oh, I fucked
Oh,
up."
goodness.
Sometimes I
right.
forget which shirts are for like RP in which games. Yeah, like oh crap.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I have to watch the last VOD to remember what I was wearing.
Mhm. You just show up in your.
I had the brief moment
just
of
show up
panic.
in your in what's it called? In your silent freaking Bob outfit for Delta Green. Whoops, that's not right.
I'm doing a different one every arc, so you know it might hit rotation.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, let's do some close plugs. Get on out of here. Tomorrow, what are we doing? One Ring.
One ring.
We are nearing the end. We are likely 3 or fewer episodes away. Not just likely, we are 3 or fewer episodes away
Yeah.
from the end. And as we ended on a very dangerous moment, in fact, as they have never been closer to the fortress of Karn Doom. We will see exactly what happens inside of this tower that they have they returned to. It's a pattern, guys, by the way. It's a pattern. I've noticed. You did this both in Delta Green, where you guys went to this freaking mansion, condominium stuff, left, and then returned the same night. One Ring. You go to this tower, get your asses kicked, leave, and you're like, let's return the same night.
It has been my idea both times, so that's on
true.
me.
You're
Yeah,
so
and I
impatient.
did
So
say
impatient.
that's a terrible idea.
Fair enough.
I like to explore. What's wrong with that?
No, nothing
I think One Ring it made more strategic sense. I think probably.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. We're out of the session, so we can agree with each other.
Having your fight.
It's okay now.
Three of the wolves or something. You're still radically outnumbered. But it makes
And now we're
strategic
trapped
sense.
inside.
Oh goodness. Okay, next. What else after that? Monday, we've got Monster of the Week, where we are starting up our first actual scenario. We did our session 0 a couple weeks ago, and so we're gonna get our first scenario. So come check that out. Very excited to give that a start. Family splatters, late 1980s, early 1990s. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Monster hunting away. Tuesday, Steven, what do we got?
Tuesday, we are playing Marvel Multiverse RPG. It's a brand new Marvel game, and we're playing X-Men. We'll be moving into our custom characters on Tuesday. So we'll get to see what character Jeff has created, what characters what characters have you created? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're still waiting.
James Lipton. My superpower, I give really good handies. There you go.
Only an alleyway. Yay.
But yes, two characters of the 4
Tuesday
have been created, so
and
we're all good.
Find out what characters Jeff and I made.
I have my concept. I just have to
Yeah. That's all you
I
need.
One of
really.
us has a concept.
together.
I give you trouble, but it's all good. It's been a busy month.
Okay. Next up, Threat Cat. I think we're playing younger.
If you want to play an old lady that just graduated high school, I'm okay with that.
It's never too late to go back and get your degree. Oh, geez, this gotta go away.
She's old lady Wolverine. Then Thursday next week, we've got Werewolf the Apocalypse. As we last night started our chronicle in full. Spoiler alert, we got right up into it as I nearly killed Jeremy, like right off the bat. I bit his ass off again. It's amazing how frequently this happens. But he is okay, but we left off and things are a little bit of trouble. And then next Friday we are back to Conan, which I believe is actually going to be the finale of Conan Hyborian Tales, at the very least season finale. We might obviously come back to Conan in the future, but in our current arc, we are finishing up, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different towards the end of October. So if you like Conan, come hang out with us on Friday. Anonymous sub-gifter, whoever that was, thank you so much. That's so very kind of you. We really, really do appreciate it. So very generous. And anyone who gave out bits or subs in Lost Caravan RPG, thank you for the raid as well. Sometimes I don't break the mold. Not break the mold. I don't kind of break what we're doing. But I really, really do appreciate it. I guess let's do some rating. We got Defenders are up, so let's go ahead and give them a raid as they're playing some Anvia, the game that our pal Joe is developing. So go ahead and follow that raid. If you haven't yet followed the channel, we're really, really close to 1,000. This is pretty much how I measure my worth as a human being. So if you could just give us a couple extra follows, if you haven't followed the Twitch channel yet, to get me to 1,000, Melissa can maybe stop looking at me with such disdain and disappointment in life, questioning why she made the decision she did to marry me so many years ago. So that would be great. If you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, go look for Adventures in Lollygag, and we got all sorts of wonderful games over there, including some of the other games we haven't mentioned recently that we've started up, things like Fragged Empire. Really excited about that. So that's another one that is new. And some one-shots as well that we've been playing over the past month or so. Other than that, have a great night. Follow the raid. Let's go ask Joe and Chuck about their feet or something. So good night, everybody.
See ya.
In alleyways.
Bye.
Bye.
Give them handies in the alley.